Thanks very much for your presentation. It was really interesting to hear you talk about two aspects. One was the human resources aspect of what you're doing in terms of cabinet making. And I was really struck by the humanity, the way that you're thinking about paying people and respecting people's talent and encouraging that talent. Can you talk a little bit about that and how it's valuable to you?
Sure. It's been a subject that the Cabinet Makers Association, that especially amongst us board members, we've talked about. And I think we had our annual board meeting this year and said, well, the elephant in the room really with finding talented employees is pay. And creating jobs that paid enough to earn a living wage. And having made the changes I just made, was in agreement that was certainly a missing link. Not that what we were paying wasn't a good wage, but it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough to attract a student maybe coming out of college, maybe has a degree in engineering that really likes using his hands and be part of manufacturing. So to make that jump to say the only way we're going to keep these talented employees is to pay more, and that's not just for my shop. That I think is for the industry, that the talent is there. Educational programs are showing up all over the country. They're very good educational programs, and they're really teaching young adults and returning veterans about the skills that they need for the trade, whether they be technical, hands-on, mechanical skills, or on the software, sales, estimating end of the spectrum. And the only missing link to connect those people to us was compensation. We were able to give our employees until about 1998, we had full health insurance for everybody and their families. We had to give that up. It just got to be too expensive. So now that we've raised our wages by 30%, that would be the next step, is to, along with raising what we charge for our products by 30%, is to have enough revenue that we can bring back health care to our employees, as well as some sort of retirement, 401k matching fund. And I think that'll be the key. I know bigger manufacturers are able to find and retain some of these high-level employees, and for the shop like mine, that's only 3, 4, 5 people maybe, it's harder because there's a lot of competition. If somebody truly has that talent out there are companies that are willing to pay, $100,000 for an employee, and that's what I think students and parents need to understand. With the right training, their child can be working in a career path, that has great promise. You can get up, certainly you can get up into the mid-50s and 60s 3 or 4 years after starting. So, I mean, the money's there. And a lot of times what I find is when people come in, all of a sudden they decide, we want some more training in this. I love this CAD camp. So then we can help send them to school for very specific training and very specific classes. So it's a win-win for everybody.
Right. So one of the reasons you can charge more, you said your wages have gone up 30%, is because you adopted technology like CNC very early.
Right.
And you said that was a real advantage for you because now you get work from other shops that are larger shops that don't have the capacity to do bigger jobs or smaller jobs in some cases. I'd like to talk to you a little bit about technology in general, because two of the things that you touched on were really interesting. One, your use of VR, and then your use of augmented reality as well. And the augmented reality piece is, as I understand it, you're going to be able to show a customer in situ a scalable model that they can say, yeah, that looks good in this confined space. It's, I've got room to move around it and stuff. And then that can go straight into manufacturing, straight from the app that you're using with the consumer. Is that right?
That's correct. And the virtual reality part of it, again, like we had touched on during the presentation, was in the form of a virtual walkthrough that we present to the client, their home. We sit down and say, okay, here's your new kitchen, and a lot of times it's a kitchen, a library, a master bedroom suite that we'll be doing in a full reno or perhaps a new build. And to be actually able to move through the space, look under things, get a feel spatially for where you are is that huge link where the customer would look at blueprints and it was like a deer in the headlights. And I find that if I can present, on the computer screen as a movie of their future space, that's a sale for us.
Right.
And also in just finding issues on job sites using 360-degree photographs and being able to take that photograph and then be able to spin it on the computer and look up and down and potentially catch maybe a missed piece of plumbing or a missed outlet. That's also made us more efficient because we don't have remakes.
Right.
So VR is awesome. And the augmented reality, working with a group of people where we're designing furniture pieces basically to solve that last inch problem of the small city dweller. 600 square foot studio, they need their bedroom, their kitchen, their living room is all one room. So room dividers are big, and to be able to create a room divider using your phone and the app, and ground plane sensing. So basically it understands what a floor is. You take a piece that's one of the models of furniture, and there's half a dozen different finishes, whether they're very high-end materials such as Chinook, which is an import from Holland, a veneer, pre-stained veneer, or some of the new really cool ultramatte colors, solid colors, whites, the grays, reds, and also gloss colors, that they can sit there, choose their piece, choose the color, stretch it because it's augmented reality, so it's in the space. They can stretch it maybe between two windows, get the height exactly where they want it, hit purchase, and then it goes hyper local to a CNC manufacturer that receives the code. They're signed up as part of this group, and the part is processed with their excess capacity on their CNC. I mean, ours runs, we probably use our CNC truthfully 40% of the time. So theoretically, on a 40-hour week, we have 60% of our capacity. Let's even say half. We have 20 hours a week where that CNC sits idle, that we could be making furniture. And that is the idea, that it's that last mile, it's very close to the city, so delivery charges go away, so you end up with a totally customized piece in a week or two, without all that extra engineering and processing and development that takes 6 months to a year with typical furniture.
Fantastic. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.